Today, I wanted to reach all of you to talk about the hidden cost of waiting until you're ready. This is something that's super close to my heart because I have waited to get on social media for a very long time. I avoided social media. I removed myself from all social media platforms about 8 to 9 years ago, and I had made a resolve within myself that I will not get on social media because it's addictive, or because it creates unhealthy social patterns, or it actually makes us less social. I had all these reasons, right? Like, I don't want to get advertised at, I don't want to feel manipulated, like, I want to have control of my own emotions, not constantly getting affected by things that are happening in social media. In this specific story, I waited until about the start of this year, end of last year, to actually come on social media and have a presence and show up authentically. And I found it to be so challenging, but also easy at the same time, but mostly challenging. And today I want to reflect on what's been the cost of that for me, and if you've been waiting to act on something that you've been wanting to for a long time, how much that might be costing you today. So I want you to use my story as an example, because we all have things that we want to do, right? But we're waiting until we're ready. And for me, I was waiting until I don't really even know what I was waiting for. Maybe social media to get less toxic, but we all know it's becoming more and more addictive as time goes on. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when you think that I just need a little bit more time to feel ready. Things are not so bad yet. If things can need to get way worse before I take action. Or there's all these reasons why you might not be acting on your wishes of what you want to do. You might have decided that you're waiting for someone else to say something or do something or give you a sign that will get you to start acting. Maybe you're waiting for your parent or your friend or your mentor to approve it. The cost of staying stuck, the cost of not taking action, the cost of continuing to just have wishes without actually letting yourself move forward with it. When we're waiting for that validation from our mentor, when we're waiting for someone else to say something, we're waiting for the situation to maybe get worse than it is, and we're waiting to get more information, we're waiting to have more time to think about doing what you want to do. We're all waiting for something. What is it costing us? What we think we're doing is we're protecting ourselves, because it's scary to take action. Okay, that's really where it all stems from. Why we convince ourselves that these reasons of why we're waiting is important is because taking action is scary, and it's different because you've never done it before, and this is might be a big goal, or even might be a little thing. It's just something you've always wanted to do, but you just never prioritized. But it feels like a big thing because it's a new thing, right? That's what makes it scary. And we do have to acknowledge that even for the things that we want to do, we do tend to feel scared for many reasons. So once we acknowledge that, we can realize that if we want to start taking action, we have to take it despite the fear, because the fear is not a sign that you should stop. The fear is not a sign that you should wait for more information or you should wait for the approval of people around you. What you're really trying to protect yourself from and trying to run away from fear is you're protecting yourself from failing, or you're protecting yourself from even succeeding if you think that succeeding means, that you might have less time or less things, for example. It's paradoxical when it comes to fear of failure versus fear of success, because it turns out they're kind of the same. You think you're protecting yourself from failure. You think you're protecting yourself from the worst case scenario just by not even going down that direction. You think you're protecting yourself from things going catastrophically wrong. But what you're really protecting and stopping by not taking action is your growth. And here is the crux of what we're talking about today, which is the cost of waiting until you're ready. Your growth. You are costing yourself your own personal development. You're costing yourself being in touch with that future version of yourself. who does take action, who does follow through. And you're paying the price by staying in fear. You're paying the price by continuing to be the person who always just wishes, never actually takes action. That's been the cost. It's that future improved version of yourself that you always envision, but you can never reach. Now, this was quite a humbling experience for me, coming on social media, being away from social media for so long, and then having a presence, realizing that the things that I was afraid of or the things that I might have been avoiding actually are not a really big problem. The big problem is these other things, which is, for me, what I'm finding challenging is getting that engagement and that reach. Let's talk about what else it might be costing. All this time that I could have been on social media, exploring my work as an NLP practitioner and a nutritionist, I have paid with the price of time. All that time that I could have spent, if I had started instead of last year, I could have started 3 years ago, then I would have had 3 years worth of progress behind me. But now I've only got since I started. So all that time has been the cost of this. The other thing that has cost me is my energy, because now I have to put all that energy that I could have put ages ago. Because the thing is, I've been wanting to be on social media for a long time, even while holding the same belief that I don't want to be on social media, if that makes sense, because I understand its value. But at the same time, I was resisting the other effects of social media. The main reason being I was addicted to social media, and the truth is, coming back on social media, those same addictive patterns have resurfaced. And so it's a reminder for me that to be conscious of how much time to spend on social media, creating versus consuming, for example. For you, that might be completely different. Maybe you're always consuming a lot of self-help content and then going out and actually applying those concepts. Like maybe you're watching my lives and then you'll go on with the rest of your day and try to find examples of where you might be delaying your progress because you're waiting for something. And that's really awesome. That's really great. The problem is when we constantly consuming social media or consuming self-help content and not acting on it, and it becomes like this time filler activity. It's not even that enjoyable, right? Because at the end of the first shorts that you've seen, you already want to skip to the next one because it just didn't give you that fix. It was only interesting to you for maybe like a few seconds, and then you want the next one, then you want the next one, and it's an endless cycle. So the time, the energy it's cost me, the confidence that I could have had if I had started a couple of years ago,